Amit Soussana, thank you so much for taking the time to join us here. There were so many heroes of October 7th, and your story seems to resonate more than just about anybody else's. Why do you think your story has made such a connection around the world?
I think because there was so much denial from the world and no support at all from the women organization about what happened on October 7th. And me coming out with my face, with my name, and telling in details of what happened to me in captivity, I think that made a huge difference, more than I ever imagined that it would. And me choosing to do so on the New York Times, people know that the New York Times is an objective platform and one not so supportive of Israel. So that's why I chose them to tell my story. And I presented them with medical evidence of what happened to me. And at first it really bothered me that they requested that, but afterwards I understood the importance of it. And I think my story starts with me fighting them in the field and showing bravery. And I was scared that by telling my story of what happened to me in captivity, the sexual violence I endured, that will take from my bravery. And I was glad to see that people saw me telling my story just as much power than in my battle in the fields.
This is such a deeply personal story for you. Does it get easier to tell it, or is it harder in some way knowing that you're speaking on behalf of the hostages that are still being held in Gaza?
I try to concentrate on my role and to concentrate on the other hostages, so not on myself. I think that's what makes it easier. But when sometimes I'm alone and I see what people say and the women organization, yeah, it hurts. Because I told in detail of what happened to me, and it's really a private story, as you mentioned. And before that, I never spoke about things like that in my life. I'm a private person. I keep to myself most of the time. And knowing that every person in Israel, when he looks at me, knows exactly what I've been through, it's not easy. But I just try to concentrate on my role and the other hostages.
You spoke about a moment ago about sometimes feeling alone, feeling isolated. Yesterday, you're surrounded by the Secretary of State, the First Lady. You look out into the crowd. There's Keith and Aviva Siegel, who you were held captive with. Does it give you a sense that maybe you're not alone in this?
Yeah, yesterday was really a powerful moment for me. Meeting Melania Trump, the First Lady, and the Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, and them recognizing the horrors that happened in Israel on October 7th, and choosing me to talk on behalf of the women who received the Women of Courage Award. It was so meaningful for me, and I had no idea that Marco Rubio is going to talk about me and about Israel in his speech. And it just gave me a real sense of the urgency that the U.S. government and the people here in the United States feel about this entire conflict, and that we have their support in bringing this crisis to an end.
Did you get a chance to talk to the Secretary of State or any officials here about the situation and how you feel that the hostages need to be at the top of the list?
Unfortunately, no, we didn't get a chance, but I met with them prior to the ceremony, and we got a chance to shake hands, and I could see from their eyes and from the attention they gave to me that this matter is of real importance to them.
The ceremony was yesterday, but that's not the end of this process. You're actually going to be involved in a leadership program, kind of an exchange program put on by the State Department. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I got the chance to meet some really brave women and hear their stories. And it was really emotional for me because sometimes you concentrate on your suffering, of what's going on in Israel, about the hostages, and you forget that the world suffers from so many different things. And these brave women fight in their country, and it's just like it give you a sense of the importance of this entire process. And it's really hard for me, like, to commit to something with such a tight schedule. But they're so supportive, and they're really they're really flexible with me. So I feel really honored to be part of this program.
There's going to come a time, God willing, when the hostages come home and the war is over. What's your future at that point? Have you even thought about beyond that?
And whenever I'm being asked of that question, I don't know what to say, but I think my future will be bright. I'm really optimistic. And I feel lucky that I'm here, that I made it, that I survived. And I think that now I'm more aware of my own strength. And I feel more confident speaking in public. That's one thing I never imagined that I will do. And I see a bright future for myself and for Israel. And I really hope it will be like that.
Well, I normally speak with politicians, so I don't say this often, but it's an honor to get a chance to talk with you. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you so much.